You really hate being told what to do, don't you? You really hate when you feel that people think they're better than you, that they have authority over you. Who the hell are they to tell you anything, right? Well, I'll tell you, they're probably someone that has some fantastic knowledge to give you, and you might not like the way they're telling you, but that's just because you're an insecure little wimp. Because your ego gets hurt. Because they might feel that they have more authority than you, and you might be validating that. So what? So they gain a little moment of confidence, and if they really are toxic enough to believe that they are better than people, that's going to affect them badly down the line. You don't have to do anything there. But there is, more importantly, some value here being exchanged. And you're ignoring it because your ego is hurt, because you want to feel big and macho. Shut up. Look, I'm not looking down on you like I'm so much better. I have authority problems. I've had authority problems my entire life. It's the reason I've never joined the military. I'm sure it would do me some good. But the point is, I've grown the most in life when I really listen to what people have to say. Now look, sometimes people will bully you and say things unnecessarily in a violent way. That's a different story. I'm not saying don't stick up for yourself. Don't be an overly nice guy, yeah. You gotta stick up for yourself, but not all the time, man. A lot of the time people are dealing with so much stuff in their head, they don't have the energy. I mean, they still can, it's always a choice. But a lot of the time people are just dealing with so much stuff, they don't have the energy to put things in such a nice way and hand it to you on a silver platter. And you probably wouldn't listen anyway. So wrapped up in your stuff as well. They don't mean anything by it, but they'll say something a bit bluntly. And it's your job, as the animal that you are. You can get hurt by it internally if you like, but listen to the information, take that and go, okay, I'll show them. Say that to yourself internally, don't say it outwards, you'll look like a weirdo if every time someone gives you advice you just go, I'll show them. That makes you look like a freak, but whatever works for you. But authority problems really get in the way. Because you want to be in charge, you want to be a leader. The best leaders are the ones that can look eye to eye with the people they are leading. Not only that, that can make the people they are leading feel above them. You're trying to lift people up, not lead people and push them down. You're not letting people know that you are the king and they need to kneel for you. That's not what a leader is. That's a dictator. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing something for. Everyone, absolutely everyone has something to teach you. Even the people that seem really stupid, and they might be, they still have something. Because every single person is raised differently and they have a different outlook on the world, on the universe. You will never be able to see the world through anyone else's eyes. You can only get little hints to what it's like. And you're ignoring that because you want to make a basic perception of someone, call them stupid or lazy or whatever. That is such a weak way to look at people, because people are never that black and white. They're never just something. They're something and they're also something else and they're also something else. And you're refusing to see that because you want to feel better in yourself. You want to push them down to push yourself up. That's weak. If you can find the most value, if you can find any value even in the most irritating of people, you're ahead of the rest because you are building yourself from every interaction. That sounds exhausting. Well, yeah, that's called growing pains. I'm not saying you can do it all the time. I mean, it is a choice. You can, but sometimes you're going to be in that mood where you have days where you are less forgiving because it's harder to be. Maybe you're a bit more blunt with people, but that's why people are blunt with you. So why do you take it personally? You're not some saint, you do the same thing. So just be more forgiving, be more understanding, be more empathetic. When people you feel are talking down to you, or they're talking to you like you don't know something, maybe you actually don't. I'm not saying say, yes, king, and get on your knees, but just listen like a human being. Look them in the eyes and just listen. Because the best way you can prove to them that you are better than they think isn't by telling them or telling them not to speak to you, it's just by doing. Actions will always speak louder than words. Sometimes you have to use words to, yes, make people respect you, but that's only if you're getting bullied. That's a different video. And even then, I don't know if I'm the best person to ask about that. I let a lot of things go. And when I actually choose to confront people, it's when I am so angry, and I probably don't do it in the most adult way. I probably snap. Because most of the time I don't think confrontation is worth it half the time. It's all egos. The 1% of time that it is worth it, I'm not the best person to ask about that in this current stage of my life, because when I get the few times that I actually am in that situation, I get very angry. So I'll get back to you on that when I've actually got enough experience. I'm not going to waffle at you, because I'm not a guru. And I'm not a self-help YouTuber. I'm just a guy on here trying to help you out based on my experiences. And I definitely have experience in authority problems, and I also have experience that when I don't listen to it, that's when I grow. Now, I'm not saying you have to find that you can be your own boss, definitely. I think authority in itself is a weird structure. But what I find weird is most people with authority problems like being in a position of authority, like having that power. I'm someone that craves power. It's one of my toxic traits, but I would channel it into other things, into wholesome things. So it's ironic, because if you were in a position of authority, there'll be people feeling the way you do when you speak to them, even if you spoke to them in a nice way. Some people just don't even like getting told what to do in any sort of way, because they don't like feeling like they are inferior. But that's how life works. If you're working in a position where someone is above you in management, they've been given that role because they have been given the role of leadership. You need to accept that. Doesn't mean you're a little wimp that knows nothing. It just means that's how it is. And if you want to be where they are, you have to earn that through actions, not through words. So do. Stop spending so much time protecting your ego. Let your ego get destroyed, because if your ego gets destroyed, you can rebuild a better confidence upon that. Confidence, way better than ego ever will be. They are two different things, not the same. Ego's fake, it's a story. Confidence is real. Confidence is just knowing you can do something. Ego is the story you tell yourself about yourself. So stop listening to your ego about how you shouldn't be listening to this guy, how they shouldn't speak to you that way. Just stop taking things so personally. Look at things like an experiment. Be pragmatic. And just think, yeah, I felt this way about that, but I can take this value from it. I can be better in this area. Don't beat yourself up. None of that. Don't waste time with that. Just be better. It's simple as that, Chief. Well, it's not so simple, because we're human beings and emotions will always be there. But on paper, it's as simple as that. I'm not saying become a robot, just become an animal. No matter what, just always take value and just do more. And it won't be as quick, you won't be able to do it in a day, but in a week, in a month, in a year, your actions will speak louder than your words, because people will look back and they'll go, wow, this guy's been consistent. Just show up every day, try your best. Try and set an example. That's all you can do. Some days it will pay off, some days it won't, but if you really try your best, in a year, I promise that will show way more than anyone else. That's the only way I think it's acceptable to try and be better than anyone else. By just, through your actions, trying to be the best version of yourself. Not by putting anyone else down, but just by ruthlessly chasing that. See you tomorrow, Chief. Say less. Do more. I am bold as hell.